what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy
We're going to start off with a little game. All right, we're going to play a little game, and it is post-spring overreactions. The LSU Tigers. Whew, how about this one? Overreaction, right reaction. DBU is back.
I mean, bro, that's got to be an overreaction.
Yeah. So in the article,
I think they can be.
In the article, yeah, it's like it wasn't long ago that LSU dubbed itself Defensive Back University, and deservingly so. After the Tigers sent Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, Corey Webster, and so many other great defensive backs to the NFL last season, however, the Tigers struggled to cover just about everyone. LSU ranked 108th in the FBS in pass defense, giving up 255.6 yards per game, and 108th in total defense as well, giving up 416.6 yards per game. So anything's an improvement. I guess that's not an overreaction.
No, exactly right. That's my thing is DBU is without a doubt not back, but DBU doesn't have to be back. You just need to have act like DBs, like just have like okay starters. I don't need this to be tired. Now, if somebody would somehow emerge, and look, maybe Corey Raymond brings some of that magic back with him, the father of DBU.
Yeah.
Sure, that'd be awesome. But no, I don't think this is going to be a dominant secondary. But again, you don't need them to. You just need them to be middle of the pack. You need them to not be the absolute disaster that they were last season.
I agree with you there, T. You just need them to be 55th. And look, I know that sounds like a loser mentality. I get it. But when you were 108th, now you had an incredible offense, 3 first-round picks. But when you were 108th and you still finished in the top 15, if you're 55th a year ago, T-Bob, you're in the college football playoff probably. Like you're at least like you're at least
you beat Ole Miss.
Yes, you're having a chance to do it. Like you're having a chance on the road against Alabama because the offense was so good. You have a chance. No, you win the game against Ole Miss, right? If you have the 55th best defense in the country. And so like for those reasons, like you don't have to be DBU. You just have to be somebody that's respectable and not awful. All right, let's go to the Texas Longhorns. Overreaction or the right reaction? There is a quarterback controversy in Austin.
No, I mean, look, that's definitely an overreaction. Quinn Ewers is so clearly the guy. I just think, and I don't think we've talked about Arch Manning's spring game on this show, but he looked awesome. Full stop.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about year-to-year growth, remember how overanalyzed the spring game was last year when he's been on campus for 3 weeks and everybody was using it as this launching pad for we told you Arch is overrated. It's just the name, blah, blah, blah. Well, he directly hit back at all of those people. Because right behind Carson Beck, I got Quinn Ewers, right, in the top 3 quarterbacks along with Shedeur Sanders. And so there's no controversy. If I'm a Texas fan, though, I am just smitten with what I saw because kind of like LSU fans have felt about Nuss the last couple of years, I feel like, I'm going to be good at quarterback for a while here.
Yeah. I think Quinn Ewers is somebody that is starting caliber, certainly in the SEC. I think he's somebody that can play his way firmly to the first round of the NFL draft. I think Arch Manning's going to be a really good quarterback as well. But we're not talking about somebody that is just struggling and he's okay. He's not going to be the guy for the long term. No, Quinn Ewers is going to be the guy. It's going to be his team all season long. Arch Manning and his family and their mindset, they ain't trying to go out there and get this job right now. They understood what it was when they, signed with Texas, and they've been upfront about that. They wanted Arch Manning to redshirt last year, right? He's going to sit behind him this year, then he'll have 3 years to be the starter. Now, probably only going to be 2, but he'll have 3 years to be the starter. So he'll be – now, also, Eli and Peyton both stayed all 4 years. I mean, they stayed through their senior year. So, they do things a little bit different. So, I don't think – if you had a family – that was pressing for him to be the guy, and then you had Quinn Ewers, who's also a really good quarterback, that would make it an awkward situation. But I think the fact that they've come out, T, and they've said, no, we want this to be the path for him so he can be at his best when he takes over, that helps this entire situation.
Yeah, and look, Ewers missed time last year, right?
Yeah.
So there's quarterback's a tough position to stay healthy for the entirety of a season. there's a very good chance that Arch will see actual game action that matters at this year. And again, the thing I would focus on is just the year-to-year growth. And it makes sense. And if you're listening out there, kids, it really proves that sometimes there's something to be said for patience and redshirting and kind of accepting that, no, I have a lot of things I need to improve on, because his 2 spring games could not have been more different. And look, he was accurate, correct in his decisions. He's another guy that I felt in that spring game really took what the defense was giving him.
Yeah.
Great touch on the short stuff, but also was very willing to push the ball deep. So he looked fantastic.
All right, let's go to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Overreaction or the right reaction? A quarterback controversy is brewing in Tuscaloosa.
So I was surprised to see this, because I kind of emerged out of the spring game thinking like, okay, Jalen Milroe is clearly the guy. You're talking about one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the entire country that was excellent at pushing the ball deep and creating explosive plays. Like Jaden Daniels, he has a very clear area of the game to work on. Now, unlike Daniels, it's kind of the inverse, right? Year 1 of Daniels starting at LSU, he had kind of the underneath stuff kind of figured out, was going pretty well. He had to learn how to push it downfield. Milroe's got to do the opposite. But again, I love when a player has such a clear area to improve, and it'll make everything explode. It's like Zion learned how to take a pull-up jumper. You combine him with Kalen DeBoer, who I think is incredible at maximizing his player strengths, especially the quarterback position. And then Jake, look, I don't think that it's going to be like necessarily a pass-first offense, right? I think this is an offense that is going to be built through an attack on the ground, of which Jalen Milroe will be a very critical piece. And the fact that we even talk about quarterback controversy, what have you ever seen from Ty Simpson or any of these other quarterbacks that would make you think that you would want him over Jalen Milroe? It's not unlike some of the Nuss Daniels debates that were had before this past season.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you there. Look, Ty Simpson's a talented guy. Like in a spring game, he's going to go out there and thrive. But also, like, he had an opportunity when Milroe was benched last year against South Florida. Now, he didn't have great protection because South Florida got after Alabama's offensive line. But like that, hey, here's your showcase. Here's your time, okay? And you didn't do anything in that time to showcase your talent, and so Milroe got the job back. So and then Milroe thrived, and so no, it is Jalen Milroe, and if anybody else is a starter for Alabama, it's because Milroe can't go out there. Like, I would be shocked if anybody else takes a starting snap for Alabama if Milroe's available to play.
It's just crazy that you have a guy that was one of the top 5 most efficient passers in the country, was damn near one play away from a national championship berth and potentially a national championship. And then the fans in the offseason are immediately trying to bench him. And I get why. Yeah. It's not like, but I guess it's like, why should Jalen Milroe be a finished product? And how old is he? How old was he last year? Was he a redshirt freshman? Redshirt sophomore?
I think. Redshirt freshman. I think it was a redshirt freshman.
Maybe redshirt sophomore. I think he had played 2 years ago. He came in when Bryce Young went down against Arkansas and whatnot.
Yeah. You're right.
Either way, he's a young player starting his first year. Of course he's going to have areas in which he struggles. Like, I hate to be so nice about Milroe in Alabama, but like, the potential ceiling for him is a bit intimidating. Yeah. That's okay. So Brian LaPlace does say, what receivers Alabama have third to? That is the question. That's what I think they'll be run first, and that is their greater weakness, and it's an even greater weakness than that of Georgia.
Yeah, and you lost your starting running back from a year ago. Now it's Alabama, and they've got a young 5-star guy that they've been talking about for months, but still, like, there's no guarantee. Until you show me you can go out there and do it, and not against Georgia Southern State Technical School, until you show me in the SEC that you can play running back and run in between the tackles, I'm not going to just say, oh, they can lean on the run game, because we just haven't seen it. And so, yes, that is a very fair question for Alabama and their offense. Kalen DeBoer, that is his biggest challenge. You had 3 dudes last year. We don't know that you have 1 dude right now, and you got to go out there and you got to prove that.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.